Hi guys, this is Mary from the Rhode Island Wave, here with Steve Reid from Steel Curtain Boxing in Warwick. So Steve, how long ago did you open up this place?
We're probably going on, we actually are going on 2.5 years here at this location. I've been in the boxing business probably my whole life. Started boxing at 13 as an outlet. Unfortunately, I didn't, follow through to where I wanted to be, but here I am.
Did you ever do boxing professionally? What made you want to open up this place?
I did. I never pictured myself opening up a gym. As far as the boxing people go, I'm kind of leery of them. The sport's always had a bad black eye. But yes, I was a Golden Glove champion in 1982, amateurs, and I turned pro in 2001.
That's impressive.
Thanks.
So I heard that you have a bit of a story that you want to tell us about.
I do, a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't follow my dream with boxing because it was an outlet. I had a pretty traumatic childhood. Getting away from, actually it was more serene to be in the gym getting punched in the head than actually dealing with family life. I got into substances early on in life, and unfortunately that put me in and out of different gyms and not being able to follow through. But it took me, I got a pretty long story, but it came to an end about 12 years ago when I was homeless. I was living, part-time under a underpass on Route 95. Then one night I was at Crossroads in Providence, and I decided, I'm done. I attempted to take my life. I had started ingesting. I had a bottle of 90 trazodone sleeping pills, and I started ingesting them. And I went to the overflow shelter in Cranston, and I was just waiting for the door to open so I could just go in and die. That was my end game. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It's I threw my bags under the bunk to where usually I would just tie them to my wrist so nobody would try and steal them. And I faded off to sleep. For whatever reason, I remember the dreams I had. It was like a glow of a light and seeing people that had already passed, and which I never really told a lot of people that, but I seen a medium later, and she had actually said to me, she goes, you've been in the afterlife, which, it's a different subject, but
it's interesting.
I ended up waking up the next day and cursing God because I was, I was messed up. I had we counted, because there was so many left in the bottle, I had taken 67 of the trazodone sleeping pills. And, I was so messed up, I had to get the guy in the next bunk to help me get my little rip tick to get the bus, so they shoot us up to, downtown. And I'm thinking, I never did this before. Maybe I'll die on the bus, and maybe I'll be in the newspaper. This is where my head was. And so we pull into Kennedy Plaza, and I curse God again for not killing me on the bus. And I made it to some human service office, and the woman looked at me and she, asked me if I was okay. And I said, nope, I tried taking my life. And she says, well, I have to call a rescue. And she called a rescue, and So it was too late to actually pump my stomach, but I showed the doctor the bottle, what was left, and he actually said to me, Mr. Reid, there's no scientific reason why you should be standing here in front of me. And of course, ego showed back up, and, well, you can't kill me. And I walked out, and right face to face was my oldest son. And he worked at the hospital, but to this day, him and I, we don't know, he never cut through the emergency room. He worked on the other side. And I just broke down. And I just realized that I tried to take this boy's father away from me. And, you know, all he said to me was, it's going to be okay, Dad. And, you know, that's all I had at that second, and I believed him. And from there, I went to a detox in North Kingston. And for the first time in my life, I was scared because I was homeless. You know, reality set in, and it was time to, you know, get into gear and put my life back together. I ended up going to a homeless shelter in South County, and you know, you could stay there for 3 months, and I started putting my life back together. I started working at the Stop and Shop in Narragansett, and you know, I kind of, you know, sit here and look for people that all look waiting for handouts, and I did it on a part-time job at minimum wage, and you know, it's, you know, I went back to school. I, you know, studied substance abuse and mental health, and ended up working in the field for a little bit. You know, and like anything else, you know, I probably rushed it because I watch a lot of people in this field rush into the, you know, let me fix everyone. That was me. I was a fixer. Mm-hmm. Because when I was a kid, I couldn't fix those things. So now here's my time to shine. And I moved up fairly quick in the field. I worked at a recovery community center. I was a supervisor. And then I went to work at a crisis stabilization unit. So, you know, but there was always something missing. I was missing something. And unfortunately, you know, down the road, you know, I had other jobs. I was a director of recovery housing, and you know, I ended up relapsing about 4 years ago. And the overdose deaths in Rhode Island really did a job on me. But the most important thing was I stopped asking questions. I stopped talking to my mentors. There was nobody to watch Steve, nobody looking over my shoulder, and again, here I am in Fox Point with a pistol in my mouth. You know, I had just gotten married. You know, my wife had no idea who this person was, and she was scared. So I ended up going to Mississippi for a 90-day treatment program, and the pieces of the puzzle started fitting in of all the unanswered questions. And you know, things that I needed to address the first thing. So I was sitting there in group, and everyone's asking about, what are you going to do? I was in a professional program, so it was doctors, therapists, you know, and a lot of them had ethical problems too, along with me. Out of the blue, I said, well, maybe I'll go back and open up a gym. Don't know where it came from, because it seems to be a fit. I have a lot of people coming in. They find more serenity here. I differ from the other gyms because you can leave the tough guy act at the door. I'm too old for that. I'm not going to play games in here. And I'm more apt on where, especially my young people, of where they're going to go in life. See, this is a short little part of your life, this boxing thing, if you make it. The percentage of any boxers making it is very little. So I want to know where you're going. I want to know what you're doing for life. I want to know that you're hanging around 5 other successful people. You know, and I think Tony Robbins had said that, you know, someone had asked me, hey, Tony, how can I become a millionaire? And he said to him, he said, well, who's in your circle? He said, well, you know, a couple people that make a couple $100,000. He goes, well, that's just it. You want to be a millionaire, you got to hang with millionaires. Mm-hmm. And I send that to my kids. It's, you know, if you're hanging around 5 knuckleheads, you're the 6th knucklehead. So I have a pretty powerful wall up there, a little collage of people who I've lost in recovery. Either due to suicide, mental illness, or overdoses. But it's become something I've never dreamed of. So we're doing pretty good work there, from what I understand.
That was very impressive and an amazing story. So how have you used this gym to better the community?
It's become, even through COVID, we kind of like had to pull through that, and everyone was nervous during COVID, so I wasn't sure if I was going to lose the gym, but we kept it very small. It was just amazing of how many, you can see the frustration and just the blockages of even the little kids that weren't working out. It's such a big part of life, working out every day. I wish, that, and yourself with horses, it just takes your whole day away. Some days I'm even too tired to work out. But working with the community is amazing. I've become kind of a name in the community. So, we go from there, and I have a cousin who, also works with horses, and he's a life coach, and he said, Stevie, he said, you don't have a gym, you have a life enhancement facility. And when I picture it that way, it's like, oh my God, that's pretty bad, it's pretty badass. So, that's what I like to bring. The people that come into my doors are genuine people. I keep hearing over and over, and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm maybe doing something, I don't know. But it's that law of attraction thing of, they come in the store and they love the feeling of it. It's that grit, which I wanted it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't want that, all the bags matching and everything's pretty. It's like, this is the gym that I would walk into when I was a kid.
Yeah,
so that was what I wanted. That was the energy I wanted. And it's been great ever since. The community, we're trying to work a little bit with the Warwick Police Athletic League. We're trying to put something together with them, their boxing program. COVID really took a job on people, sent Rhode Island for a whirlwind. But came through it. You don't know what's going to happen. But we're going to keep pushing on. I have people that come in here, they call it their therapy. The circuit classes, I do run circuit classes in here. It's a 22 station circuits of 45 seconds each, and for 3 times. So, that's an hour of just constant working out. And it's, I have anywhere from 17 years old doing it to up to 64 years old. And, it's pretty impressive when I have some of the older, generation, which I'm getting up there too. So, but it's, we have fun.
Yeah.
I have professionals in here now, lawyers, therapists, doctors. That's what we're attracting.
It's a place for everybody, and it sounds like it's a safe space for people as well.
It is, and that's what I take out of it too. It's like, I've been bullied my whole life. Okay, my life, I was bullied in school. I grew up in South Providence, but it only made me stronger. Unfortunately, at one time, it made me that bully because I wasn't going to take it anymore, and I see where that goes wrong. My dad grew up in an alcoholic family, and my dad was a bully. He bullied. I'm 7 of 8 kids. And, by the time, Dad got to me, number 7, thank God I didn't catch the brunt of it. My older brothers and sisters did. And, and there's times when I even have to catch it today. It might be in a bully. Life is all about lessons. And so.
It's kind of nice though, because some other people that are going through tough stuff themselves, you can relate with them. They feel like there's somebody that relates to them.
That's exactly, and I catch more of that. I have one family, They love me. They call me their family therapist. I've had each one member in here as members, and I didn't set out for this. I worked in the field. I wasn't a therapist. I worked in substance abuse specialist. I've seen just about everything I could. Unfortunately, when I was 10, I was molested by a cousin, and that sent my journey in a different direction to where it, made a lot of, had to sleep with every woman, had to get in that gym and prove that I was a man, and, get on the street and beating people up. And that was one of the things I had to address this last time in treatment.
Yeah.
Because I still have that chip on my shoulder.
It definitely affects your mental health.
And that's what I try and see and hear, even with the young kids, of what they're going through. It's like, you can see there's something going on there. Unfortunately, the kids today, and I'm sure my grandparents and my parents did the same thing. These kids today, we saw, to get that old cliche, but it's getting worse, and it's not getting any better.
Yep.
So, I see a lot of sexual abuse amongst teenagers.
Yep.
And, this is some of the things we need to, these kids aren't telling anybody. And unfortunately, sometimes I'm the only one they're telling, and it's like, really? You got to do something about this.
Yeah, well, you can help guide them in the right direction as to what they should be doing.
That's what it's about.
To help themselves.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
The workout alone, you can see that confidence come back.
It's an outlet.
It is an outlet.
Yeah.
It was my outlet, so I can relate with them. They, they're happy. They're sitting there and they put combinations together, and you say you've boxed before yourself. It's like, oh my God, I just did that. And they're on the pads, and we film them, and it's like, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I have fighters in here. I'm a USA boxing certified trainer, so I have a 38-year-old woman in recovery fighting in Tampa in October, and I also have a 48-year-old gentleman in recovery fighting in New York in a couple of weeks.
So do you coach people that want to do it competitively as well?
Yes, yep. And I have a younger kid that's fighting local. He'll be fighting in Mass at the end of October also. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it just, I love to see the fire, re-sparking that fire. I can't regret where my road went of not doing what I wanted, because that's, then I'm still holding on to something. But I'm here for a reason. So whatever it may be, I stopped asking questions. I have a little 15-year-old girl that she's a spitfire. She basically, it was funny, we're sitting there watching her on tape, and a couple of people had said, oh my God, Steve, she fights just like you. Because she'll sit here and watch me spar, and that's the stuff that, gives me the goosebumps, the drive, so.
I believe whatever is meant to happen is meant to happen, and that's why you have this place.
No, that's, it's big. I have, a few corny sayings on the other side, but that's the stuff that my life is about today. I have no control.
So, do you do private classes? How are your classes separated? Are they between age?
I do one-on-one classes with people, children and adults. Of course, children are discounted. I do the circuit classes. I take on all ages. Again, I have anywhere from, I've worked with 9-year-olds up until 66 years old. Everybody has their own thing. Some want to, do it, as competitively. Some don't. It's okay. I'm not going to push them. I do have the circuits. I think I mentioned before. They're big thing is we have a steel curtain boxing app, and it tells you all the information on it. I love it. My brother-in-law, built it for me, and it's working out great. So, get the app, the Steel Curtain Boxing app. It's in your Play Store or your Apple phones.
Yeah.
And that, and I'm competitively when it comes to paying. I was a kid that had to, scrounge up $5 just for the gym.
Yeah.
And there's people I can't pay, and you know what, it's fine. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I don't turn anyone away. And the thing is, with the people that have that energy that come in here, the ones that don't, they don't have to get asked to leave. They just don't fit, and they go away.
Yeah.
Which goes again, it's the energy that is created.
What days are you open? What are your hours?
I am open 7 days a week. I am the only trainer here. I just hired a young man to help me out doing a couple days a week. But it's own your own business. It's time consuming, and we're building. We've come a long way. I ran a gym before this in Providence, and I went from 6 members to I think I have almost 90 members now.
Wow.
So it's it's come big between the circuit and everything else. But we have fun.
Yeah.
You come in here and you're not having fun this time. Even when that was just it. When I was getting punched, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
And that's I was actually recently thinking about stepping back in the ring to see where I'm at. Like I said, substances took a lot out of me. They robbed me.
Yeah.
So I didn't give it that shot as a pro fighter. Unfortunately, I lost the 3 fights that I had, but I was high.
Yeah.
I was high every time.
Yep.
Of course you're not going to win anything. So we'll see where that goes. It's something to play with.
Yeah.
See who's interested, and that's another thing. You got to play the politics of the state and who's interested. And quite frankly, I'm kind of tired of that, and that's what I want to leave out of this gym.
Yep.
But unfortunately, sometimes you got to play the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So other than downloading your app, how else can people get in contact with you? What's your phone number, your address?
My address is 905 Warwick Avenue here in Warwick. Phone number is 401-837-5593. You can email me at steelcurtainboxing@yahoo.com or at the website steelcurtainboxingri.com. And people find me. I just had 2 comedians from New York. They came in and he says, we tried, a couple of gyms, and not that he actually said this. He goes, not that you were the first one to respond. He said, but I felt your energy on the website. And again, I don't, I have to be really humble when it comes to this, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, thank you, God. But that's the best part of it. And I was just invited out to New York to do a podcast last week. So, I just aired today. And, good things are happening. And I just have to accept it.
Yeah, like I said, whatever is meant to be is meant to be. What a phenomenal story. But this isn't the last time that we're going to be hearing from you. I heard you're going to be joining us at Rhode Island Wave.
Yep. I was asked to write an article each month for the Rhode Island Wave. It'll be covering about healthy stuff, recovery, and not just recovery, substance abuse. It's recovery after working out. We take an hour of working out, maybe an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. But the important aspect of that is, what are you doing for the other 23 hours of the recovery part of it? And that's what actually keeps us healthy. Same thing with the recovery, the meetings and this and that. It's like, okay, you went to a meeting for an hour, but you know, what are you doing for the other 23 hours of you telling everybody what a great person you are? So, you know, we're going to incline that. We're going to, you know, just put it all together. And I've done some writing in the past for the Journal Bulletin, and I didn't even mention that. And Steve had asked me, oh, would you like to do an article? So, you know, what's meant to be is meant to be.
Exactly.
We're on the same page with that.
Well, we'll look forward to reading your articles